Sounds good.
Yes, Mayhem's coming back.
All right, ready?
Sorry. All right.
1, 2, 3.
Cool.
Awesome.
I got a tweet. I forgot to tweet.
That's fine. I don't know why I always put Discord off to the side, so I end up sitting like this. But it looks cool. To me, it looks like I'm looking at you guys. Steve, on your screen, am I just looking off into the distance?
Yeah, but that's how it looks for me when I stream, because when I stream, I'm like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is my game computer.
So I need to be like this. And then it looks like I'm talking to you, right?
Yeah, kind of. You gotta move your screens around.
I don't like it. This screen sucks, though. I can't read anything.
Oh.
That's the OBS screen, because it doesn't matter. All right. We're live?
Yeah, we're live. I'm still tweeting.
He's live tweeting.
Live tweeting.
Classic.
Oh, I need to pull up the Twitch chat, which feel free to do if you so wish, Josh.
Gotcha.
It's barely ADS.
Yep. Yeah, I got it.
Oh, that I heard it.
Come on. Load. When your podcast's Twitter doesn't show up, and you have to search for it so you can retweet. I love people were people have been talking about how we rebranded or whatever. I was like, kinda, but not really. We've always been Bad's Barely ADS and Barely a Destiny Show.
So who wasn't paying attention?
Sentinel Dad. He wasn't. I'm calling him out.
I just.
He also was. He also said that I was a PD streamer, and I was like, "Well, PD alum."
Yeah.
All right.
He's like, "Leave it in."
This band of the week is so sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Where'd you guys go? Oh, I clicked. I'm like clicking around my tabs. Like, where did I put it? Okay. Hey. Never mind. I hate trying to start shows. It's so awkward.
Doesn't have to be. You could do Adrian Cronauer reference.
Drop some howdies.
Sure, you can do that too.
Hey, y'all.
Hello. Fuck. I wrote it down. I have a script. I don't know why I'm not just reading that. All right, ready? Hello, listeners. This is Barely ADS, the show where we fire from the hip. Live at twitch.tv/barelyads. I am your host, Ben Malone, and with me today we've got Slapshot Scott, Xanafan711. You're on mute. And our guest tonight is JoPaWrites.
How's it
That's
going?
right. We had 2 nonverbal affirmations.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That's why you need to be here live at twitch.tv/barelyads.
That's right. And you also need to listen to Band of the Week, which is Minor Love. This band's so sick. I was just listening to it before we started, and I was like, fucking, I just want to get my guitar out and start playing. I just want to start writing music. God damn.
Those are the best kind of bands. There's some that I always pull up, and I'm just like, God damn, I need to pull out my Les Paul. And then I remember I live in an apartment, and that'll piss off all of the neighbors.
Hey,
So
man,
what? Who cares?
Got an orange sitting over here.
For now.
As long as it's before 10, you're good.
Got that orange amp with that vintage 70s the Sun O cab.
Fuck yeah.
It's fucking dirty. But if you want to listen to Band of the Week, or if you want your band of the show on the show, send us an email. Send it to barelyaDestinyShow@gmail.com. Go to our Twitter @barelyads. Join our Discord, and you can do that by going to our website, which is barelyads.com. Also, if you would not mind, look for the show on YouTube. Search Barely ADS. Steve, what is the name of your channel?
We don't have one yet because we need more
No, you
subscribers.
do have a name for a channel. We don't have a slash.
It's the Xanafan. Well, it'll be Barely ADS when that happens, but if you search for, I'm pretty sure it's the Xanafan 711 one.
Just
I'm
search
not
for
100.
whoever's uploading our videos and just like that YouTube, apparently.
No,
Figure it out,
If
bud.
you search Barely ADS, you'll find the podcast because I do it every week.
Okay.
Search Barely
Subscribe
ADS.
to that channel so eventually Steve will figure out our branding and get us a slash.
Yeah.
You can do that. There's going to be some videos going up soon-ish, I would imagine, because of our Patreon, which is patreon.com/barelyads. We've been kicking around some more ideas. I've got a couple of good ones, and we think you're really going to like it. So if you wouldn't mind, go there, drop us $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month is a thing. Or the coveted $100 spot, our mega sponsor for $100.
Oh my gosh.
So,
I'm going to feel bad if someone actually does that.
Yeah.
no, dude, that's a super fan. That's our white whale. We're microtransactioning our way to glory.
Don't admit
Might
that,
as well
man.
do it.
People get mad about it.
Hey, and if you do subscribe at that $100 a month level, it's basically a loot box. We don't even know what you're going to get.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. I'll buy something and send it to you. It won't be worth $100.
No, definitely not.
We'll be putting a bunch of stuff into a box and sending it to you until it equals $100.
I'll just take one of the boxes that I have down here, box it up, and just send it. Whatever's in there, you get it.
It's a $100
It's
box.
all a bunch of great stuff.
We'll say I'll just throw a comic book that I own in there.
I see a lot of empty boxes.
Some random stuff. You get a random, sign something that is in our immediate vicinity, put it in the box, and send it to you.
All right, two big asks for everybody. Join the Discord, come in here, play games with us, and tell a friend about this podcast. So we would like to try and get our community growing a little larger. And we're going to be branching out and doing a lot. We have a lot of ideas of stuff that we want to do, but we need your help, and we need you to just do what you can. Yeah. Also, that includes giving us iTunes reviews.
Yeah.
Which we have none, but 5 stars only, please.
Yeah. 3 people
have
have
leave
not
a 4-star review.
Rule.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, we only guys. I don't know if you guys know this, if you're new to the show or whatever, but we review your reviews, and only the 5-star reviews get reviewed. Even if it's just, hey, you guys are terrible and awful people and the show is terrible, we will review that if it's 5 stars.
Yeah. You got to leave it at 5 stars. That's the only way to get it read. We have a scheme going. I'm just letting out all the secrets. Microtransactions and schemes afoot.
Yep.
From Barely ADS.
It's the way to grow these days.
Yeah.
So I hear.
Well, I know somebody whose community grew by 1 recently. I've been watching you a lot, JoPa, on your stream.
I appreciate that.
Heck yeah.
Hey man, it's a good time. I have a hard time like watching a lot of people stream. First, I don't know, I'm very finicky with it. But you landed one of the spots, and now I'm happy that you did, because it's a lot of fun watching and interacting. Feels like just hanging out.
Yeah.
And, it's a good time. So when did you start streaming?
So I've been streaming a little over a year now. I think I started last September, maybe August, September, something like that. And it's been crazy so far, just because it's such a up and down time, you know. So, I don't know. I really appreciate you stopping by, and that's kind of the way I like to approach it. It's just a community feel. We have a lot of people in there that like to drop terrible dad jokes, and on Wednesdays we do a lot of terrible pickup lines. So that's kind of we like to keep it light and fun. That's just the way it is. So
yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, when I was watching, it gave me that same feeling of like, you know, when you're at your friend's house and you're just kind of chilling. You've been there for way too long, but you're just like chilling on the couch. They're playing video games, You're just kind of like on your phone doing whatever, and every now and again you'll say something. They're like, "Yeah, blah blah blah." It gave me that feeling where I'm just like,
Nice.
"Hey, hell yeah, just kicking it,
Yeah.
lazy Sunday." So your name, JoPaWrites on
Yep.
Twitter, where
Mhm.
does the right come from?
So I've been writing for a long time. I used to like sports articles, sports reviews for like Bleacher Report when they were real early on, and basically anybody could do it. But then I transitioned to start doing a little bit more with video games and that kind of thing. I do a lot now. I was working with StackUp.org, which is an awesome veteran charity
Heck yeah.
that I'm a big fan of because I'm a veteran myself. Um, but then now I transitioned just recently, like little over a week ago. I, with a couple friends of mine, we started our own site. It's called geekytorch.com. I write for them. You see 2 to 3 articles from me a week. I've interviewed a couple people already, and we're just kind of really expanding. And I just love writing. I love kind of getting my ideas out there. I can do that when I'm streaming quite a bit, but I also, there's a lot of things that I don't get a chance to talk about because I let the conversation flow when I'm streaming. So when I have something that's on my mind, I just like to get it out there, put it down on paper, and kind of let everyone know what I'm thinking about. So
So
Heck yeah,
if you
man.
could elevator pitch your site, just give people an idea. What are they going to find when they go there?
So that's going to be a wide range of things. Like I said, I have done interviews. I've interviewed a writer, an artist. I'm going to interview streamers, that kind of stuff. But you'll also find reviews of not only video games, but also movies, TV shows. Basically, we want to make it a place where all the writers who write for the site are very different views on life and everything. But we want to keep it kind of lighthearted. It's not going to be IGN, which was super serious. But you're gonna find a lot of different topics. Like I said, I wrote about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I'm a big fan of. You'll see others on
Nice.
different video games. I'm probably gonna write about the Punisher and the DC EU at some point as well. So all those things that kind of interest me. That again, when you're in the video game kind of spectrum, you don't talk about the other aspects of kind of geek culture that I think are missed out on sometimes. So
Yeah. Nobody's ever written about my favorite driving game, Days Gone.
Oh man, I saw a little like a clip of that game earlier and heard a couple of people talking about it, and
I really
I'm
wanted to
in.
write a review for that game as a driving game. Where you're like, the driving in this game sucks. I'm constantly just getting kicked off my motorcycle and people are running, zombies running after me. There's all this crap that you have to do just to get back to the driving. Anyway, what's your favorite thing that you've written? Like, what stands out as your crown jewel?
So I wrote this probably about, had to have been a bit over a year ago. It was after Destiny had dropped, after Curse of Osiris, when were kind of at the lowest point in Destiny 2 at the time. And I wrote an article about how there was every chance for them to rebound, and I kind of showed off with like Warframe and some other games that had rebounded, and even Destiny 1, how people often forget how much of a struggle Destiny 1 and the Dark Below were for a lot of people. So that was one that I felt like I got really right, because it was long before Forsaken, and then Forsaken was amazing for me. So that's one I was really proud of, because I know a lot of people kind of stepped away from the franchise a bit, and I don't blame anybody for that. But I had kind of an idea that they would recover in a way that would be great. And we'll see long term, but that was one that I wrote that I was really excited about, because as I watched the progression of Destiny and saw it a little bit better with Warmind and then Forsaken, I was kind of excited about that. So
That's awesome.
So TLDR, he called it.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's great.
Hey, TLDR, I called Iron Banner 6s from the start. Just saying. I did not call them going straight to 6s with everything else. But that is neither here nor there. But what is here this week is at Bungie. This week at Bungie. There was a better transition there, but I didn't nail it. This week at Bungie, brought to you by Bird Box. It's if it's a coffin for a British woman. Bird Box.
Wow.
Take your blindfold off and open your eyes to this amazing deal from Bird Box, the subscription box for your pet parrot. Get your toucan a treat, the perfect pairing for your parakeet.
Ooh, I like that.
So smooth.
Yeah, that's better than the other one.
Bird Box. You open it up and there's my middle finger. Bird Box. Flip him the bird. I'm gonna start using that in the Crucible. Be like, I'm about to give this motherfucker the Bird Box.
Oh my god.
All right.
Steve, what happened this week at Bungie?
It's a quick one. The subclass changes, as well as other changes, are incoming. And they already told us what's coming. But if you want to know more about those subclass changes, there's a link in the TWAB. You can go there and click it because they already talked about it.
Go back, last week or 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
And we talked about it on the show.
Yep. Mayhem from January 29th to February 5th. Crimson Days from February 12th to February 19th.
I'm so excited to run doubles.
Oh, dude, that's going to bring me back. Me and you, we, for some reason, are really good at doubles. There's a slight change to how powerful bounties will work moving forward. And basically, they're nixing the save your bounties till the next DLC drop and then claim them for a powerful reward. So what they're going to do is, if you get a bounty from Season of the Forge, the highest light possible that bounty can drop at is 650. So even if it's Season of the Drifter and you complete a bounty from Season of the Forge, it'll only go as high as 650. And that, I think, makes a lot of sense. I like that.
That's fair.
Yeah. And that's it.
And
That's the TWAB.
they're taking out all the dirty tricks that I use to level up quicker because I just don't have the time to sit there and grind all this crap. Damn it.
Well,
It's not really, if you get behind, then you can just hop back in and level up faster.
Yep.
I'm in that way. I've been in that weird spot though, where it's like I'm at like about high 630s, and it's all doing that incremental like 1 to 2 level drops.
ugh.
Just like, come on, man. Like, I've been playing.
Yeah, it does kind of suck
Give me-
because
Give me a little bit more than that.
I'm in this weird spot with Destiny where I don't want to grind stuff by myself.
Yeah.
But I'm too low of power to do the raids and everything, so all I do is play Gambit and Crucible, and I'm not powering up because I don't do anything.
Dude, I feel you. I'm the same way, but the difference is that I think I've been trying to run forges in there when I can get a teammate, and it's tough because like I'm right there, like right in the high 630s, like I said, and it's just like those 1 and 2 level drops. I'm just like, come on, man. I just want to get to 650 so I can, raid and run a forge and not have blueberries totally torpedo my hope of getting a weapon drop.
Scott, here's the secret. You said you're like 630 right now. You're high enough
6
light.
I think, yeah.
You're high enough light to do anything in the game. You don't have to be max light to do anything. You're 20 higher than me. I'm like 610.
Yeah, but I like being max level because I can go around and stomp on things, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
Even for the psychological, you're just like, I know I'm the
That's
most
your
powerful I can be.
highest check mark on your
Yeah,
list.
that's.
Yeah.
See, well, I mean, the way, and I think this is just left over from Destiny 1. The way it used to be for me is I would bust my ass to get to max level so I could run around just smashing everything. Nightfall, Strikes, Iron Banner when that came around, and just basically get ready to raid.
I always loved when you would be there and the new expansion would come out and it was just like you just got smacked around again and reset everything to the start of the game pretty much, and you're like, all right.
But the best thing for me about that is you get smacked around at first and you're like, oh, you motherfucker, I'm going to come back here in a couple of days and you're toast. Yep. And then you walk
Listen
back
here,
into
Ballast.
the room 2 days later. Yeah, you're like, hey, Ballast McDickhead. Gallahorn time. And he's just toast
Ballast
before he even comes out of
McDickhead.
the door.
But wasn't that kind of what happened with the forges, and everyone got so mad about it?
Yeah, it's what happened with it's what happened with the Forges and Escalation Protocol.
Yeah, and you got smacked around, but then a week or two later, for a lot of people, it was significantly less difficult. And by now, for most people that have stayed grinding, it's not a problem to do a lot of the forges. But I think in general, Destiny's at a place that it's 5 years old and it's hard to keep up that grind for so long.
Yeah, and I'm kind of there's just too many games that I want to play to where I had to make a decision to be like Destiny. Sorry, you're kind of taking a back seat to the other stuff.
Yeah.
I can only sustain one game as a service, and that's what I'm gonna do, and that'll be Destiny. But I want to play some other stuff. I've been playing the same game for a long time.
I mean,
I'm not gonna stop, but I love the game. I'm
what
never
if
gonna stop.
I know you. You're a BioWare fanboy. What if you like Anthem a whole lot? That's a game of service. Do you think Anthem could take away your Destiny game of service spot?
If the season of the Drifter is meh, I'll probably play it for that whole season. But
Yeah.
that would pretty much be it. I don't see myself getting really into it because my favorite thing about Destiny is playing really difficult PvE to get really good guns and go smack people in PvP.
Which was sadly not as much of a thing in D2 as it was in D1.
Yeah, but it was in D1 that was what really drew me to it because I've always been a PvE player and good at that and been terrible at PvP. And Destiny was like, "Hey dude, if you play PvE, you can get a gun that'll make you better than that guy." And I'm like, "What? Excuse me?"
Yep.
So that's my
breeder?
favorite thing about Destiny.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no PvP in Anthem.
Yeah, so I don't foresee Anthem really taking a hold of me. That seems to be a game that I'm going to buy, play through the campaign, and then I don't see how you're going to make long-term, entertaining PvE-only content.
Well, I think it'll be like what World of Warcraft has turned into for a lot of people in that they'll release content and you'll play it every time and you'll love it. But then when you're done, you'll go back to Destiny and your other games because that's what happened to me with Star Wars The Old Republic when that came out. For some reason, no one is talking about the fact that BioWare has made an MMO, except for me. And so they know how to do
You mean Anthem?
PvE.
Or is it?
No.
Are you talking about a different
No,
game?
I'm saying-
Old Republic.
Yeah, like everyone, the
okay,
biggest
okay.
argument I've been hearing about Anthem is that they're worried that there's not going to be enough content. And I'm like, they've made an MMO. They know that they need to make a lot of content because they've done it. And it was a very successful MMO and it still has a very strong following since they went free to play too. And that's a BioWare EA game. So I don't think Anthem's going to have an end game content issue.
Yeah.
Because they succeeded there. So
I think you might be right though in the fact that you'll have Destiny's like kind of always drawn out and they have things week after week, whereas Anthem feels like it'll be like a content drop. Bam, you'll knock out as many things out as possible. You'll get the story, you'll get the end game, and then maybe a drought for a bit, and then a new content will release, and you'll be right back in for like a shorter period of time than just like every reset having to get on and knock out all your activities like you do in Destiny.
Now, if there's fun like raid-like activities in Anthem, I could totally get down on that.
See,
yeah.
I see for me personally, I think Anthem's going to be a little bit like the way that I played Titanfall 2, not just because they have similar giant robot type things. I mean, granted, it's like flying robot Iron Man suits or whatever the javelins are. But like for me, I got Titanfall 2 long after most of their content drops. They did some balancing updates and things like that, but I played that as a like in between from Destiny when it was really really slow. I would just hop on and do some horde mode on Titanfall 2. But the problem with that for me was it was all PvP, and I'm not really a PvP player for anyone who's not familiar with that.
Wait, did you play the campaign of Titanfall 2?
Oh yeah, I blew through that campaign. It was a blast.
Oh,
I
so
wanted
fun.
more.
Oh, man.
That
And,
time shift thing. Oh,
dude, it was so crazy.
Scott, how excited are you for the Respawn Star Wars game?
There's a Respawn Star Wars game?
Yeah, it's coming out this year.
it's called
Seriously?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yep.
Oh fuck, that sounds awesome.
And
That
this might
sounds
be
really awesome.
like this might be the saving grace for EA and the Star Wars license.
Oh man, I hope
Yeah,
so.
it pretty much
I
has to be.
fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Especially with the EA Vancouver game getting canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was so many good Star Wars like games previously, and then they hit Battlefront for the first Battlefront for PS4, and everybody's kind of like, this is gonna be so awesome, and everybody played it. They figured out they can unlock all the characters, and there's all sorts of other just kind of wonky shit about that game, and it was just like, all right. Like, I think I played that for maybe 2 weeks, and the most fun I had was flying around with a couple of my buddies in the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter mode, just shooting down ships and stuff. And the Heroes mode, where you could actually be one of the heroes when it's like a 6-person team, and you could be one of the heroes when you get, so many kills or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody would instantly quit if they ended up being the rebels, because you get Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, both decent characters, but they just... I think Princess Leia gets like a shield generator and a pistol, which is awful because you're going up against like Darth Vader, the Emperor, and Boba Fett, who will get some sort of crazy like overpowered shit. Vader basically walks in, takes one swipe, kills everybody, and he could do the Force choke too. So I don't know. I don't think he could do that with the heroes. I don't think it was as devastating to the heroes, but it was still like. The Empire was still wickedly overpowered when you paired them up against like, Han, Leia, and Luke for Battlefront, which is just awful. So,
If you guys could pick a developer to make a Star Wars game, what kind of game would you pick, and who would you have make it?
oh God,
Because I'm thinking,
oh man,
give Ubisoft a chance and have Ubisoft make a badass story game.
The Assassin's Creed Odyssey team.
I want it to be,
that's good.
I want it to be very story focused, and then grab some of those people from For Honor and be like, you need to make our lightsaber fight. Like, you need to be the one who does the lightsabers.
That's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So or Sucker Punch, because that seems to be what like Ghost of Tsushima is kind of like as well. So Sucker Punch could probably do a very good job with that kind of a combat as well.
I just think it'd be so cool and be like, here's what all you got to do. You're a Jedi, you got a lightsaber, and that cool ass way of using it, you're going to have a gun and be able to fly ships.
Yep.
Yeah. The funny thing is that if you look at Anthem and BioWare, that might have been like them just doing something upgraded with Knights of the Republic or a new series in general might have been the best bet because they already knew the franchise. They know MMOs. You look at the combat in Anthem, you could have done something like that. Maybe not as much flying around, but they obviously can work with weird physics of the Force and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, they've done it in Mass Effect. They've done it in BioWare could definitely. Well, they did pull it off. The Old Republic was amazing. So if they got another shot, I would not doubt that they would do something amazing. I think the biggest thing for a Star Wars game is we already know the stories of like that are in the movies. We know those characters. We don't really need them in a Star Wars game, which is why I think this Respawn
you could do
game
cameos,
will be all right.
but that's it.
Dude,
I'll
tell you right
you need
now.
to be off story. You just need to be in the world of Star Wars, and that's way better than getting like an actual canon story game.
Scott, can I predict your game?
You could
It's
try.
it's a Road Rash clone on speeder bikes.
Oh my God! now I have 3 games, Ben. Thank you. Now I have 3. That's actually that could be a mission in one of them. I'd love to see like I'd love to see like a Boba Fett game similar to Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the Jango Fett one. That
The
came
old
out for PS2. Dude, that game was dope. And if they took that game and made it like the sequel, some sort of like the Adventures of Boba Fett, and like spun the old Western theme into it, sort of like Forsaken did for Destiny, like had him just basically out there flying around hunting down bounties, and like there's a little bit of story with that. I think that'd be cool as hell. And then
what if Anthem had a Boba Fett costume for DLC?
I'm in.
I just thought of an amazing one.
Take my money.
Rockstar does a Han Solo prequel game where it ends with A New Hope.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
dude, I would love to have a game I don't know whether it would be story focused or what, but like there's a whole bunch of Marvel comics now since Star Wars is like in with Disney and Marvel, where they're telling like stories about Darth Vader and basically what he did from the time he became Darth Vader to like New Hope. I want a game with that because the most fun I ever had in Star Wars Battlefront for PS4 was that first demo mission where they turn you loose in Echo Base as Darth Vader, and they're doing the tutorials for all this stuff, and you're just force choking rebels from across the map. You're throwing your lightsaber at them. They like rush you, and you just smash 5 of them with one swipe. It's just insanely powerful. Like, let me be Darth Vader and kill everything in sight because it's just so fucking crazy.
Well, that was like the Force Unleashed, the first one. The first mission is you as Darth Vader, and you just go and wreck house. And so it's like something like that would be, Sony Santa Monica with God of War. Imagine them rocking a early Darth Vader game as like a.
Oh my!
I was just
game.
thinking that with like the complexity of the God of War controls, you could really do a lot with a lightsaber.
Well, and that was a thing in the Old Republic from BioWare, is that you could certain classes through their lightsabers and use the Force to pull it back.
Damn.
I just want a Darth Vader focused game where there's this line from the comics, one of the comics I've seen, where he said somebody like there's 100 rebel soldiers around him or something, and he says, we have you surrounded. And his reply is, I'm not surrounded. I'm just surrounded by fools and dead men or something like that. And then he kills every single one of them. I'm like, that. I want to play through that power fantasy. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all your games, Scott?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure if I thought I could come up with more, because there have not been good Star Wars games in a long fucking time.
Yeah, man.
But that's the problem, right? There's so many good ideas that could be out there. It's just
how do you
they're
screw
failing
up
to
Star
capitalize.
Wars?
Well, I've been hearing this on podcasts a bunch lately, and I really like the idea. If Disney did what Marvel is currently doing, and it's just like, hey, you're a good studio. We think you could make a Star Wars game. Here, what do you want to do? And just like leave it open. We have a PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man game. There's an Avengers game coming. There's a Guardians of the Galaxy game coming from various studios that were hand chosen by Marvel Games. And they don't care if it's exclusive or not, as long as it's a good game. So if Disney does something like that, I totally agree with it. I'm stealing this idea from
it could be
actual game industry influencers but I think it's a fantastic idea. Just don't license one publisher. Why would you pigeonhole yourself when there's a plethora of amazing game development studios that could make a good Star Wars game?
Sure. Well, they keep getting canceled, much like Metroid Prime 4.
It wasn't canceled. It wasn't canceled.
They're restarting completely.
Completely restarting.
That's unfortunate for sure.
I would rather. I kind of say it's fortunate because I heard why. And the reason why
it's unfortunate because you have to wait so long, but it's fortunate. Like at least they're not rushing out a terrible game that makes a franchise unplayable for 7 years.
Yeah.
So.
But basically, what happened was Nintendo was trying something new, and they portioned out the development of Metroid 4 Prime to various developers across the world, and they were going to combine the different pieces later to create Metroid Prime 4. And it just didn't work. So the original developers of Metroid Prime, Retro Games, was given the task of starting over. So I think that's a good call overall.
That sounds like a cool idea if that would have worked.
Yeah. It would have been like it'd been very comic booky.
Yeah, that sounds like if it would have worked, that would have been cool. Resident Evil 2 did something real cool by completely remaking Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, to rave reviews.
Yeah, so I really want to play this.
But is it any different than the original Resident Evil 2 that we all played?
Yes, and the biggest difference is
really
actual modern game controls instead of tank controls. And let me tell you,
did you play Resident Evil 4 or 5
played
or 6?
Evil 4 or 5. I think I stopped with 2.
Okay, so it's third person over the shoulder camera, Resident Evil 2. And apparently because you take away a lot of the suspense without the static camera, they added suspense by making everything dark as shit and having you have a flashlight. And people are just like,
Oh,
this
wow.
game is scary as fuck.
Is it the
Yeah.
same? Like, are they same like deal? Like, you have to go through the mansion and then
That's one.
or
It's
go
the
through
police.
the city and
the police station.
Station. Yeah.
yeah, police station. I'm sorry, and then
So-
you end up taking like the secret passage or whatever.
Kinda. I would say Resident Evil 1 was murder mystery feel from watching
Yeah.
Ben play it. Resident Evil 2 has a similar vibe, only you're actually trying to like figure out what's going on. And instead of it being one playthrough, it's two perspectives on a single story.
So
Yes.
the original Resident Evil 2, if I'm not mistaken, is in the same style as 1.
Yes, you're correct.
So
Yeah, exactly. Tank
I've-
controls, static backgrounds. That's why it made
So-
it work, and it looked good for the time.
think about it like this. It's the plot and the puzzle solving kind of stuff as the original Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2 with the game mechanics of Resident Evil 4 and 5 and 6 and the fucking horror and suspense of Resident Evil 7, which
That
was a
sounds pretty
scary
good.
motherfucking game.
Yeah.
Yes,
pretty good.
especially. Well, I think what makes this one probably more scary is because it takes those elements from 7, and you have to like as Resident Evil continues with their numbered games, they become more shooter, less horror survival, and this is
Except
way
for
more.
7.
Oh, is 7 like that?
7 is like horror survival, like it's that first person one.
Oh, it's
that-
first person though. Okay.
Yeah, you're trapped in a house with these creepy swamp people.
Yeah, but it's basically you are doing a lot more running away than killing zombies.
Scott, have you played Resident Evil 7?
Dude, I haven't played anything since Resident Evil 2.
You should play Resident Evil 7. Especially
And 4.
play it with your wife around if she likes, you guys like horror movies and stuff. It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary, dude.
Nice. That's awesome.
I will spoil one thing. You get your fucking arm chopped off by a chainsaw in first person. And this game is a VR game as well, by the
shit.
way.
Nice.
So you could like VR see your arm get chopped off.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's a gnarly game. It's so fun. My mother-in-law thought that she heard my wife and I having sex because we were playing that
Resident
game,
Evil.
and I'd be like, "Huh," and she'd be like, shh, shh, and she's like, I know what you're doing. I hear you shushing him. I'm like, no, we're playing a video game.
Oh,
Classic.
this is scary as shit. Come in and watch.
Yeah, come in and watch.
Come in and watch.
Oh my
Oh my.
god.
Yikes.
Just leave it up to interpretation.
Come in and watch.
Yeah. How to win your in-laws in 4 or 5 words there. Pro tip
So,
from Scott.
what game would you guys want to see reworked like Resident Evil 2? Like, you can take an old game and completely update it, even like change the style of the game, because that went from static camera, tank controls to over the shoulder, like full range of motion. So, is there anything that you guys would be like, oh, I would like to see this game come back?
I think I speak for all of us when I say Road Rash, please.
Oh my god.
Called that. That's great.
Come on now.
I would,
Honestly,
I would love it.
The only one I can really think of would be original EverQuest.
But like updated.
Updated, like,
So if you updated it, it would just look like Skyrim.
no.
No,
Come
I'm
on.
saying the original EverQuest looks so bad.
Right. It does look so bad, but here's the thing. It is very similar to how Skyrim looks. Just the graphics are a little more
Skyrim looks
blocky.
way better than that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the way that it feels, where you're just like, and this is a visual bit, you're just like, you see a hand with a sword, and it's just, you know, that kind of a feel. That's what the original EverQuest was in 1998. That's how Bethesda has done their first person is it looks the same, just like,
Yeah.
you know.
So I was looking at a couple when you mentioned the topic, and the two that probably would be the most interesting to me would be original either Splinter Cell or Metal Gear Solid, like the first one. I feel like both of those would be because like I feel like right now everything's about like big action, blowing things up or whatever. Like there needs to be more like stealth type games, but like with suspense, with action, with like shooting and stuff like that. But I miss having those games where you can really like play in a way that like really suits your style. You can try to way through the level or sneak your way through the level, but like with better graphics and stuff. I think both of those would be good options.
Metal Gear Solid is a great choice. There's such a good following for Metal Gear games. I think that would do really well.
Yeah. And they've kind of botched a little bit. Oh my, Metal Gear Survive was so bad, and then before that, you had Metal Gear Solid 5 was just okay. Like it was what it was. So I think bringing it back and like going like just like with Resident Evil did kind of with 7, and then now with the remaster of 2 and going back to the roots of what made the games what they were is super important. I think that's where I would want to go with those games.
Yeah, I changed my answer to Mass Effect 1.
Damn it, dude! You stole my answer. Echo the Dolphin. No, Mass Effect would be.
Oh my gosh!
What
who makes Gears?
Well, no, Mass Effect would be so good if you even just updated it to like the Andromeda, like just like
yeah, oh yeah, or Anthem.
Yeah, just update that game to like the modern, at least the modern like Mass Effect 3. Like, if I could play all those games with the stats and like gameplay of Mass Effect 3, it'd be the best. Because Mass Effect 2, I'm playing it right now. Great game, horrible RPG.
Yeah,
like it is not an RPG.
Well, they did the exact same thing that Destiny did when they swung from hard RPG to way less RPG.
Yeah.
And then 3 got it right. So there's hope for Destiny 3.
Yeah. I think if you redid them like that, it'd be awesome. I cannot believe you fucking stole my game.
Now that I'm thinking about it, dude, you can have Road Rash if you want, man. There's so many games that I'm thinking about now that I'm like, man, that was a really good game. Like Road Rash. There was
Star Wars Pod Racer.
Ooh.
That is not.
I'll one up you on that. Knights of the Old Republic.
No. Damn, okay, keep going. I forget what it is.
That would be so good.
Jet Moto. That's what I was going to say.
That's another really good one. Oh my god. A
modern Jet Moto would be so good.
That was so
Tony
fun.
Hawk's Pro Skater.
Nah, I can't do those controls anymore. Skate ruined me.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't know if you can top those though. Like those were pretty good for the time they were out.
God damn, Jet Moto. Well, Tony Hawk 5 tried to come out. Was it 5 was the most recent one, and it was just a fucking stinker.
Yeah. Well, they did the same thing that a lot of franchises do, where they try to. It's like instead of sticking with what got them there with like a fun skating game, they're like, oh, let's make it real over the top and outrageous. And I think that's where a lot of franchises get it wrong.
I mean, they jumped a shark. Mm-hmm. Also, by the way, though, in Skate 3, you literally jump a shark. So
fair enough.
It should have been a sign that we were never going to get Skate 4. Oh, I'm so sad about that.
Dude.
Do you think people are sad about the Anthem beta because the servers can't keep up?
Well, apparently for the 1%, no, actually, Crafty switched from Anthem to Resident Evil 2, so they must be having issues as well. There's server issues right now.
Bummer.
Yeah. But, I mean, this VIP beta, no, it's the VIP beta this weekend.
Yeah.
So it's the server stress test. They're testing out their servers. That's what's going on right now. So like, I'm not really surprised that this is what's happening. And honestly, it's better that it's happening like this than on launch day, because every MMO I've ever played had a really rough time on launch day. Yep. So yeah, we'll see. I did hear though, to move on to our next general gaming news is that Anthem beta servers can't keep up. But they did hold an event last weekend where they invited a bunch of influencers to play Anthem, and it was not the same build that the demo is. But and they basically you show up, they give you 4 javelin codes so you could try all the javelins. And from what I've heard, it is everything you want from a BioWare game and everything you want from an MMO standpoint, where there's biotic detonations between classes. So from what I was listening to What's Good Games, and Andrea Renee was talking about, and these are Destiny people that I'm pulling reference from, by the way. Fran Mirabella and Andrea Renee went down and they were playing together, and Fran was playing the what is it called? It's like the rogue, the like fast rogue one.
Interceptor.
Yes.
Yep.
And Andrea Renee was playing the like Stormcaller javelin. And they were comboing off each other.
Yeah.
And in the way that there's biotic detonations in Mass Effect 2 and 3. And that's dope. And there's also a tank class, and there's also an all-around fighter class, the Ranger. And so it seems to be like what people want from Destiny PvE as far as class diversity and abilities, but it's still different enough of a game. Like, you're not going to get Bungie gunplay in this game, but you're going to get more of that RPG MMO feel that you kind of want from Destiny in this game. So that's what I gathered from what I've been hearing about the Anthem event that they held last weekend.
Yeah. Well, I actually played 2 missions today.
Okay.
Ooh,
And then I also
exclusive.
watched some of the videos on the gameplay that was captured from that event and just kind of comparing. And it's funny because playing the missions, starting off as a ranger and only running around with rangers, you kind of everything feels very bullet spongy. Like, you're just kind of shooting. You have really cool visuals, really cool effects with some of your different your shots and everything like that, and your different guns. But it's not really until you get some of those better class abilities and start combining the classes that you do really get to see, like, feel super powerful. So it's definitely night and day from when I was playing to what I was watching. But at the same time, for my money, when I was playing it, I had a lot of fun because you definitely feel the difference. There seems to be more freedom, and again, there's going to be that power fantasy that I think, talking back about Destiny having PvP and this not having PvP, it kind of restricts it. It loosens the restrictions when it comes to balancing, so they can just kind of go nuts and let you be as powerful seeming, as long as it doesn't completely break the game, instead of just having to balance every single gun off of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
definitely.
I'm
Which
missing the tank
I'm going to
class.
pull in a listener question for this topic because we have one on it. And that is, I'm sure we already answered the first part, which is what is JoPa's interest level in Anthem? And then for all, which of the 4 javelins sound more awesome and look more awesome, which is Colossus, the tank, Ranger, the jack of all trades, Interceptor, the rogue, and Storm, the mage.
I'm gonna play the Colossus for sure. I love playing tanks.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Same.
Is it any shock?
Oh,
the
shit.
4 Titans
Oh wow,
all said
4
we're gonna play
Tartans
the
all
tank?
say they play. If I'm not playing Colossus, it'll probably be Interceptor.
You think all the warlocks are playing the Storm?
Oh,
100%.
100%. Yep.
100%. Yeah.
Interceptor
They're
is
playing Interceptor.
All my friends, everyone else that I'm playing with, they're all playing the other classes. So I'm super happy playing the Colossus. It's just watching him, like, big beefy thick boy wading into combat. I'm super excited.
Big beefy thick boy.
Now, does that have a shield and a Gatling gun? Because I think I saw
It's
that
got
in
the
video.
most. Yeah, the Gatling gun is a Colossus exclusive weapon.
Oh fuck
And
yes!
also, what
Oh,
I learned,
shit.
Also, what I learned from the What's Good Games podcast today is that your guns are basically interchangeable between all of the javelins.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
there's
shit.
a couple like heavy weapons that are exclusive to specific javelins. The like sweet business basically is
Oh my
Dude,
god!
is
Yeah.
the
I forgot to
Colossus
bring this up
exclusive.
earlier.
Can we?
So I met JoPa here when we did the Clash of the Classes. So
Mhm.
Titans versus Warlocks versus Hunters, and we got our ass whooped against a
Yeah.
team of stacked Hunters. But
Yeah.
I remember so distinctly before we start, we're all sitting in orbit, and I was like, okay, guys, we're gonna get our asses whooped. So let's all put on sweet business and go
Yep.
out like Titans.
Yes, 100%. Just sweet business and punching things. That's all
That's
it was.
amazing.
Fucking
Oh,
right,
God,
man.
it's
That's
so
what it
funny.
is.
I have a challenge for you Titan boys, and I did this like probably 2 months ago. Go into a PvP quick play match and only use your fist and see how you can do. You'll do much better than you think.
I would like
100%. Yeah. No one's expecting it.
Yep.
I would love to do that with a full team of 6 people, like 6 Titans, and then we all have to huddle up and just get the drop on somebody and mug them. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
man.
Just drop down.
shoulder-
I will say,
Anytime you do a team of 6 activity, it's always going to be a lot of fun. Like I've done like a team of 6 Rat King that was completely obnoxious. It was
6
so,
Bubble Titans is always
yeah,
hilarious.
6 Bubble Titans, anything like that is just a blast to do, and I love it. That's one of my favorite things about doing silly
Shout out
stuff.
to the
in
Grape
PvP.
Nation.
Yep, Grape Nation. All right, let's round out this gaming news. There's 2 more things. First of all, here's a PSA for you Smash Brothers fans. Piranha Plant is the first extra character, the first DLC character, and he's free as long as you register your game by January 31st. This is not included in the season pass, which gives you the next 5 downloadable characters. The first of which is Joker from Persona 5. But to get Piranha Plant, I think his name is Chad. You need to register. If you bought your game digitally, you already registered it. I'm not even kidding. The
Fuck?
Piranha
I
Plant's
think his name is Chad.
I'm pretty sure the Piranha Plant's name is Chad.
That's the greatest.
that is the greatest. I'm gonna
yeah.
wake up my wife and kid. That was fucking hilarious.
But yeah,
That's gonna fall out of his
the
seat.
Piranha Plant. I think his name is Chad.
Good times.
so if you bought Smash digitally, you already have it. It's already registered. But if you bought a physical copy, like the rest of us,
Same people who don't want to take up room on the Switch.
Yep,
Oh, it's so bad.
exactly. You have to, from your Switch dashboard, highlight Smash Brothers, hit the plus button on your controller, and there should be an option to register your game with Nintendo so you can get Chad for free.
I did it. It's very easy.
Yeah. And then the last part of general gaming news is that the NDA was broken for Dreams, PlayStation
Oh, shit.
exclusive.
Okay, somebody remade the PT trailer, the playable trailer, the Silent Hills thing. They've remade that. It looks exactly the same. And that's amazing. So I'm just mostly happy that when Dreams comes out, I will pay $60 to be able to play that again. It's so fucking good.
Right. Well, they remade something else too, right?
Yeah, and they remade Dead Space.
Nice.
Wow.
So
Here's what I think is really
it looks
dope.
the same. Like this shit does not look like the Dreams version. It's like just looks like those games. So
Yeah.
Scott, somebody needs to fucking remake Road Rash in Dreams, right?
Oh, please.
Yep.
They need to,
Here's-
somebody please remake Road Rash. Please.
Here's the coolest part about Dreams that I like. Yeah, it's cool. It's like Little
It's a
Big
game
Planet.
engine.
It's Little Big Planet, but modernized, and you don't have to make a whole game yourself. The whole point of Dreams is that you can be like, all right, I'm interested in music. I want to make a game soundtrack. So you make a game soundtrack and you upload it, and then anyone can use your game soundtrack on their game. Or
You can do that with assets too.
yeah, you can just make assets that anyone can use. You can make levels that anyone can use. So it's like a community of game assets that you can pull from to make your own game. So as long as there's people pulling assets from other people to create a game and people creating assets, this is going to be really interesting.
I can't wait to play Mario on my PlayStation.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I was just thinking about it. I would pay $100 for a good version of Road Rash where you could basically build your bike, pick your like weapon loadout, and play multiplayer online. Like,
Jesus,
Have
man.
you gotten
racing.
Road
Can you
Redemption?
imagine that?
Scott,
Somebody
It
needs
hasn't made it
to
out
do
of-
like the Need
Go
for
ahead, Ben.
Speed treatment. Like the people who made Need for Speed, give them the Road Rash license. Okay.
Oh God, please! I need
Like-
I need Road Rash in my life, dude.
I
That'd
don't-
be amazing.
I don't even care, like, because Need for Speed is such a like arcadey racer. Just like, let me customize the shit out of my bike and pick a chain or a billy club or whatever, and just beat some people while I race.
Dude, Steve, Road Redemption hasn't made it out of the PC beta the last I heard. I mean, it's been a few months, but they're having issues with it, and I don't know that it's going to get backed. Because I was reading up on it for a while, because they had a release
like,
date for November or something.
I'm informed on Road Redemption.
Dude,
but
I
Steve-
was so hyped about that because I saw it, and it's like crazier than it's the spiritual successor to Road Rash. For those who don't know, and for those who also don't know, we love that game on this podcast because we constantly talk about it. Here's the amazing thing, though. You thought, for those of you who have played Road Rash, you thought it couldn't get any more crazy and violent, dude. Road Redemption is fucking insane. They let you ride around with sawed-off shotguns and blow away your opponents on the
see,
bike.
Scott,
Oh my God.
here's the issue. The only reason that you're like, man, it sucks that it's still just PC beta is because you don't have a PC.
I don't think it's. That's the thing. I don't know that it's gonna. It's like.
it
full-on
looks like it's gonna
release
get
yet, though.
stuck forever in
I think it's
development
gonna
hell.
be. Yeah, I
Probably.
think it's gonna get stuck in development hell, which is really sad because it looks like an awesome game. But I don't know that it was. I think it was partial game issues, and then like the rest of it was just kind of like there's
Yeah.
a bunch of
Closest you can really get
It's
is
gonna
Mario
end up as
Kart.
Road. It's gonna end up as Road Dead Redemption.
yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
They're playing with horses instead of motorcycles.
God damn it! If GTA did that, it'd be so funny. Or not GTA, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Road Rash with
Road
horses.
Rash on horses. Oh my god,
Oh
that'd
my
be
God.
amazing.
I mean, they have a mode like that where like you get on horses and there's checkpoints all over this big open area, and you have to hit all the checkpoints in whatever order, and you can shoot people off their horses.
Oh.
But it's just kind of like a scramble around an
Dude,
open area.
If
It's
you
not a
add
track.
motorcycles to that, and you make it like a motorcycle thing,
There we
perfect.
go.
It's
Scott,
Road
I mean,
Rash, right?
GTA has that.
Oh, that leads me to a question specifically for Scott. Scott, this seems right up your alley. Are you at all excited for Days Gone?
Which one is that?
Zombie game where you drive a motorcycle all the time. Terrible
you're-
driving game.
And the motorcycle is like your companion character.
Terrible driving.
The
Dude,
motorcycle
they had
is...
It
okay,
sounds good.
You'll remember this. There was a trailer at E3 where the guy sets a bear trap in a bush, and then one of the enemies walks in and starts screaming, and they shoot him in the head.
Yep.
That
okay.
game.
Yeah, that was fucking
Yeah.
nuts, man.
The RPG element in this game is your motorcycle.
Nice.
Yeah, terrible driving game though. It's really hard to get back to the driving. Motorcycle's always breaking down. Calling
It's
it.
like the buddy in the buddy flick, your motorcycle.
I saw some footage on that game like earlier today, and it was a guy fighting 300 zombies.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how like you can climb on top of a house, but they'll just like stack up on top of each other and end up climbing onto the house, like eventually,
that
like
sucks.
World War Z style.
Yeah.
I've heard
No,
the
that's
AI.
awesome.
I've heard the AI in
It
that
is
game
awesome,
is
but-
absolutely incredible, and it's a single player game.
I'm so excited for that game. I've heard a lot of people being like, "Hey, it doesn't look good." I saw it from the first moment I saw that game. I was like, "I want to play this." The guy running from a horde of zombies on top of a barn, and they're just swarming him. I was like, "This is badass."
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. It should be good.
Yeah. I had a bunch of friends play at the demo at PAX West, or PAX South, I mean, last week, and every single one of them said that it was just pure fun. Like it's
Yeah.
not going to make a lot of sense. There's going to be shenanigans, but it's just like zombies and brutality and just riding a motorcycle. That's all it is.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get the same feeling I got like when I played Left 4 Dead, where I'm just like, I'm just gonna shoot the fuck out of all this stuff.
So
Well,
is
what
it-
I've heard though
is-
is like you don't really necessarily want to just kill all the zombies because
No,
there's
you're-
way too many.
Yeah, you're supposed
Yeah.
to just like survive and get around them, which is
Yeah.
so cool. But that's
Yeah.
that feeling of just being like, ah, with a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
so
sure there'll
here's
be
the
those
question:
ones.
Can I wear a black leather motorcycle jacket and
Yeah.
the dark shades and have that lever action sawed-off shotgun? Basically, I want to be the Terminator from Terminator 2, which shoot zombies.
I don't
Can I
think
do
you
that?
can do that.
I'm
But
pretty
you're-
sure
you're,
you just
you're damn
described-
close.
I'm pretty sure you just described the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Nice.
you're in a biker, or you're like an
Nice.
you're part of a biker gang, and I'm fairly certain there's a sawed-off shotgun in that game.
Yeah,
If there's
Yes,
not,
I would
what the
imagine.
fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's got to be.
Like that's the staple for the motorcycle. Come on.
Yep.
You want to do listener questions?
Let's do it. And these listener questions were brought to you, of course, by Cosmodrome Vodka. We here at Cosmodrome Vodka love reading the twabs that Bungie puts out. Better yet, we love the way you read through it. Golden music to our ears. And with a sandbox update coming, we thought, why not put the sandbox into our vodka? We know what you're thinking. Sandboxes in vodka? That's disgusting. Have no fear. Our vodka already tastes shitty, so adding more shit to it can only make the flavor better, right? No worries. The twabs aren't shit. Sandboxes are. Anyways, Sandbox Vodka will be filled with all of your favorite twab-related bullet points and paragraphs, with this batch having a nice dash of Nerf Telesto and enhanced ARs to add some bite to the aftertaste. However, we've run into some supply and demand problems with our more casual / part-time employees, as javelins from the rival Fort Tarsus have been whisking them away while we aren't looking. Something about VIPs and free demos or something. We aren't going to meet seasonal demands without our casual employees. We have to get back to you next week with the status on our missing employees. In the meantime, please use the code #FuckboyPaul to get $1 off bottles of Sandbox Vodka at the local lemonade stand that some kid is running. And remember, in Cosmodram, New Orleans, Saints fans bitch you out over missed penalties.
What the fuck?
Remember, offer code FuckboyPaul. Laz writes in. He says, "What is JoPa's interest in Anthem?" We already talked about this.
Yep.
All right. Absolute Zero writes in and says, "If you had to choose control over any element found in nature, fire, wind, water, earth, what would it be and why?" I've always liked Magneto just being able to control metal.
Yeah.
Middle? So
Does that
Earth?
count?
That's Earth.
Sure.
Yep. I'm going to choose Heart.
Get your Captain Planet ass out here. Who's that? That Captain
Yeah.
Planet?
Oh my god.
Yeah, look like Captain Planet.
Terrible.
Yep. Heart.
This
'Cause-
mustard looking motherfucker.
Because reasons.
I mean, I would choose air just because I want to. That's pretty much it. Like I just want to fly around,
Avatar
See,
silly
style.
Yep.
stuff,
Exactly. The
just do
Last
silly
Airbender.
stuff. Yeah, hell yeah.
Scott,
Very
is
good.
it fire?
Everybody would think fire, and I thought fire too, until I thought the Earth is covered by 70% water. I would go with water, because that technically means you can control ice as well.
So you want to be Mira.
Aquaman.
Mira from Aquaman.
Yes.
Maybe? I'm not ready. I haven't read
Oh
it.
no, it's seriously a super badass power. She can pull the moisture out of your body.
I could pull the
Jesus, that
iron out of
sounds
your
awesome.
body.
Moisture will kill you. I don't think the iron would as fast. Just saying.
Whatever. It was in an X-Men movie.
We need
Yeah, I
Gear
remember
Dad to write in on this. Which is more detrimental, a severe lack of iron or a severe lack of water. Our
I
resident
mean,
nurse,
I'm pretty sure water would kill you faster.
I mean, you
Otherwise,
can try.
anemic people would just like be dropping like flies.
I mean, I'm just saying, in the comics that the Aquaman movie is based off of, I'm pretty sure it's issue 2, New 52 Aquaman. Mira goes into a grocery store and the clerk is being rude to a woman. So Mira sucks all the water out of this person.
and they just die immediately.
Not that bad. She doesn't suck all of the water, just most of it. And yeah, it's pretty brutal. Also, please read Aquaman comics starting with New 52 because they're really fucking good.
All right, Adam. Les wants to know, as you previously mentioned last episode, so as you mentioned last episode, I suppose, EA has really screwed the Star Wars game license Disney gave them. We already talked about this. He says, I'm giving you all the license because this is fantasy. What kind of Star Wars games do you create? We already talked about it.
Yep. I should have moved that
Rewind.
question too, but
Rewind,
it just
Laz.
happened naturally. There is one more question though.
Yeah. Gorilla Golf says, for JoPa.
No, we
What
answered
has-
that one too. I plugged it in earlier.
Did we?
Yep.
All right.
It's about Anthem, right?
No.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah. Ask
It
it.
says, what has been the best thing to happen to you while streaming, and what has been the toughest moment? That's from Gorilla Golf.
So the best thing that happened to me is so I got a raid one time of like 90 people, something like that. That wasn't the best part. Like obviously that's great, and that's something that we all strive to. The best part was the fact that a lot of them actually stayed, and they were all like Destiny community members, and I was playing Destiny, and we just hung out. And that was actually fell out on Wednesday when we were telling those terrible pickup lines, and it was the funniest time I've ever had because they were just throwing out the worst pickup lines you could ever imagine, and I think my sides hurt so bad by the time I was done streaming.
Heck yeah.
Like I just had to get off. I couldn't go any longer, and that was great because it was like Ben was saying earlier, like it's the community feel and just having it feel like we were just sitting around shooting the shit with everybody, telling these bad pickup lines that you might do with your friends when you're out having a couple drinks or whatever. So I thought that was awesome. The hardest thing would probably be I would say the times when like I've tried to reach out to people when I'm like, hey, like I'm showing support. I'm really trying to be positive with people, and you're just met with like negativity. I wouldn't say names, but I feel like a lot of times people like no matter the size, tend to when they're streaming tend to get so self-focused that they lose track of that community feel that I try to build, and that's been the toughest thing for me because I feel like whether no matter who it is, if the person's brand new to streaming, they've been streaming for 5 years. Like I feel like everyone should be welcoming and trying to support each other, and that's really the vibe that I try to give off. And when I'm met with like brushed off or whatever, it's super frustrating for me. So that's probably the lowest point. Because everyone's been there where if you've streamed at all, had 0 viewers, and that's can be frustrating. But that's just part of the process a lot.
Yeah, trust me, I know. How does nobody want to watch Twitch from 10 to midnight? Just watch me play Mass Effect before you go to sleep.
Yeah, it's tough when you're in a niche.
Oh,
Yeah.
just wait,
Game
JoPa.
mode stuff.
Eventually, like randomly, and this is how I got affiliated, you'll get hit with just like a massive like raid.
Yeah.
I got hit with
From
8,000.
playing dumb.
I got hit with playing. I was playing Warframe for the first time, and I got raided by 8,000 people, and I was just like,
That's
I
absurd.
didn't know what to do, and it was.
He
it was
just cried
insane.
and then started singing Ti.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
I was
excellent.
just playing with like Narwolf and
Converse?
Converse, and it was just like they laughed so hard at my reaction. I didn't know what to do. It was just
Yeah.
oh, hi. It crashed my stream. I had to restart. But a lot of people stayed, and that's gonna happen. I think that'll happen too. Like it's
Yeah.
karma's a thing, kinda. You know, like positivity. You'll just have a
I don't know, man.
title one time where you're just like, it's kind of a funny title, and you're just like, whatever. And someone will just be scrolling through the directory and be like, oh, this
Yep.
is kind of funny, and boom, there it is.
I mean, there's usually quite a few people every time I'm in there, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
I hang out in JoPa's stream here and there, and it's always a good time. If you're not following, please follow JoPa. It's great.
And where could people follow you if they wanted to?
On Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, it's all JoPaWrites. So nice and easy across all platforms.
And then your website again, was it Geeky Torch?
Geeky Torch, yeah, it's spelled exactly as it sounds.
All right.
It's only been up for a couple weeks, and we're really excited. I actually have an article on the Star Wars and the EA's handling of them up as well. So
Yeah.
Nice.
funny. The timing of the topics has been pretty spot on tonight. So
Dude, that's awesome.
Just here's a little advice from someone that listens to a lot of industry podcasts: is that just keep sending your stuff to like IGN, GameSpot, like all those places, and see if we can get a freelance gig. That'll.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that you won't have something sweet to share, and that'll be picked up eventually. And that's kind of how it works, you know. Just like keep putting yourself out there, like you've been doing. I can't and good things will happen.
yeah, I agree, and honestly that's the hardest thing for. Right, it's just the timing and making sure you get enough of yourself out there to get seen, because all it takes is the one or two times, and then
Boom.
just take off from there.
know?
So
Yeah. All right, Steve, where can people find you on the internet?
Anywhere you can find me at Xanafan711. Easy enough.
Cool. Scott?
Mostly Twitter at SlapshotScott. The O's are zeros. Shout out to the Bads community as always. My clan IAP, and thanks for the fucking snowfall, Mother Nature.
Yeah. Hit
Hey, man,
any of
it's
us
fun
up.
playing with the kids.
Yeah. If you want to invite to the Discord, hit any of us up. It's on the website. Get in there. It's a good time.
And get in the Mass Effect Game Club Discord. Should be starting Mass Effect. Everyone should be getting close to Mass Effect 2.
Yep.
So that's awesome. You
Yeah.
can find me everywhere at Ben Malone. And remember, band of the week this week is Minor Love. That's minorlove.bandcamp.com.
Yep.
You know what? Never mind. All right. That's it. Have a good night, everybody. JoPa, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was a blast hanging out.
yeah, thanks for having me for sure.
All right. See you guys later.
Yep.
Later, guys.
Be the light you want to see in others, everybody.
All right. We're going to clap one more time before we stop recording.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Cool.
Dope.
And that's the end of my recording, and I have to pee really bad.
Yep. Oh yeah. That was a really good one, dudes.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Don't forget,
A lot of fun
Steve,
for
to
sure.
post the link to the Google Drive.
Yes. No problemo.
Let's see.
What's that? Oh,
There we go. Nope.
that's super weird.
Man, we started using this Google Drive at episode 37. There is so much shit in here.
I know.
Damn it. All right.
Sorry about last week, man. That was a fucking shit show.
Dude, it's cool. Like, me and Elmer, I think that was a really good episode. That should be the link for you, JoPa. Let me know if it doesn't work, but it should. Wrong computer. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, that's where you're going to want to drop your audio, and then it should be all good. Oh, hey, if you're here in the live chat, I almost forgot. We're still streaming. We're going to raid somebody. So let's see who we're going to raid real quick. We are going to raid T-Monster, who's just chatting. Go say hi to the T-Monster, and we appreciate it.
Sorry,
Send
I just
some
saw something
barely
weird in our
ADS
Discord.
love. Was it a porn ad? I can't get rid of those motherfuckers. All right.
It's some.
Peace out, y'all.
I don't know. Some people are posting like these